Hey, hi, what's up? I'm Abhinandan Singh, back again on Ticket Window, only on Box Office Worldwide. And yes, to introduce today's special guest, I again have a one-liner. Well, everybody wants to know her success key. Yes, that's husky voice, Rani Mukerji. Woo! Before we start, I just want to say I literally had goosebumps when I just came out of the film Mrs. Chatterjee Vs Norway. And I always had this question, Rani, that, from the time I had seen Mardani 1 and 2, that how do you do it on screen? The magic that you create on 70mm, how do you do that? How do you work on that craft? Please tell all us everything about it.
I think for me, I need to believe in the character, I need to believe in the story, I need to believe in the power of this Indian woman who I'm portraying on screen.
Right.
And I genuinely feel that we Indian women are very special.
Right.
And you would know because you're Indian, you have a sister, you have a mom, and you know how special they are. And there is something about Indian women and what they do in a day-to-day life that makes them truly special. And I like to portray different Indian women on screen. And I think I get my power inspired by them. So they are so inspiring themselves that inspires me as a person to be able to portray them on screen. And I always feel that the more I am authentic, the more I can be like them, the more the audience will connect with the character.
Absolutely. In fact, when I was watching, I literally thought that this is Mrs. Chatterjee. So I wanted to know that how different and how similar Mrs. Chatterjee and Rani Mukerji are.
So I am born and brought up in Maharashtra.
Yes.
I am born and brought up in Bombay. So I'm not really a typically Bengali mom.
Right.
But a person who I know closest to me who's a Bengali mom is my mom.
Okay.
And she is truly Devika. Because she's born and brought up in West Bengal.
Oh.
She got married to my dad 50 years back. She came to Bombay. She made her home. She has raised us. But she has never left her roots behind.
Right.
She's very connected to Bengal, very connected to her Bengali roots. And she's very proud of that. And that's what I have learned, to be able to be proud of being a Bengali, because I see it in her day in and day out. And the way she has raised me and my brother, so she's the closest Bengali I know,
Right.
And for me to channel Devika, I thought that there was no better person than my mum, So what you see Devika is actually my mum on screen.
Wow, so that's like the pure inspiration, that
Yes.
where you actually draw the inspiration from.
Absolutely, because that's how she has brought us up, the way I am in the film, the way I feed my children, the way I am with my children, the love, everything is just my mum.
Okay, what Rani Mukerji would have done if she was in Mrs. Chatterjee's
No,
shoe?
I will not dare even think of that. That's the one thing that I didn't want to think. I didn't want to be in her shoes because it's too painful a thought
Right.
for any mother. Like, forget me. Any mother who's watching this, I don't think she would want to place herself in
Right.
Sagarika's shoe. It is a very extraordinary pain. It is an unthinkable situation that this Indian family went through in a foreign country, and I would never ever try to put myself in that
Yes,
place.
absolutely. I think we men also get chills down the spine when
Yeah.
we think of that,
Yes,
especially
yes.
the second half of the film.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to watch the film thanks to the team and Rani ma'am that we have seen the film. And there was one scene in the film where you put some chawal,
Yes.
kela
Milk.
and
Yes,
milk to
yes,
it.
yes.
What was that? I really wanted to know that. And how did you really engulf it?
Yeah, and you should eat it too.
Is it-
So that is something that my mother has been feeding us since we are kids.
Wow.
It's a quick fix.
I'll surely try now today.
Yeah, it's actually a quick fix. When you're tired and when you're exhausted, and
Okay.
like our mums have raised us single-handedly. So when there are times where you don't have time to cook,
Right.
that is the easiest fix.
Right.
You just take little chawal and you take little milk and you take little banana and you mix it. You put little sugar in it,
Okay.
and it's really delicious.
Yeah.
So that is something that I've been fed by.
I'll surely try now.
And for me to put that in the film was something that I think most Bengalis do.
Okay.
It's a easy fix dessert, so to speak.
Right.
Like a uncooked kheer, jaise bolte
Okay,
na, it is
okay,
like a
okay,
kheer.
right.
Because it's just not cooked. It's just
Quick
a
snack.
mix mac, yeah.
Also, film exhibits domestic violence, which is pretty much a sad situation in India. So what would you like to address to all the women who somehow are witnessing and going through this?
I don't think there's any reason for them to not raise their voice, because I think domestic violence is just uncalled for in any situation.
Indeed.
And the other way around as well. you cannot raise your hand on your wife. You cannot think that your wife is somebody that you have bought.
Right.
Wife is an individual, she is a person, and it's absolutely something that one shouldn't tolerate. It's like easier said than done from where I'm speaking. But it is important for women to believe how special they are. A lot of times, because of this, what the society talks about you, what your family talks about you, a woman starts believing those things.
Right.
She has to believe that she is special. She's somebody who is there in that person's life because of who she is, and nobody should be telling her anything otherwise. These expectations out of women is just too much. And one should not stand and take it. And if you're in a situation where you can't raise your voice, you have to find methods of how you can stop it, because every individual story is different. Every individual circumstance is different. Some girls might be having issues that they don't have a home to go back to, or maybe this is what they have succumbed to, and maybe they're doing this for their children. But no amount of situations or compromises can make you go through that ordeal. It's absolutely not required.
Very well said, Rani. I think those who have been witnessing all this will definitely look up to this one. And obviously Mardani has said it, so you better listen to this. And also a lot of people, a lot of NRIs undergo harassment,
Yes.
what you had also faced in Norway,
Yes.
Mrs. Chatterjee.
Yes.
So have you also faced some trouble in foreign land?
The thing is that, as you rightly put it, this movie, from the time the trailer has released, there's a lot of chatter that the NRIs, Indians living abroad, are talking, that they kind of understand the challenges that this family faced,
Right.
because they go through that on a day-to-day
Right.
basis,
No
the
doubt,
challenges
yeah.
that they face. Like, we live in India and we feel that the grass is greener on the other side,
yeah.
and we feel that, oh my God, they're having such a wonderful life. Like, if you have friends abroad, if you have family abroad, you never have these conversations with
Exactly.
them कि आपको क्या problems हो रही है. All you talk about is कितना अच्छा life है. But they know what they go through on a day-to-day level. The parents know what their children go through, because it's a dichotomy, right? Because you have to stay connected to your roots. At the same time, you're embracing another country and their rules and their culture. So it becomes very difficult.
Right.
So I think this movie is also opening up a lot of chatter regarding that.
Right.
And also this feeling of loving your own country
Absolutely.
comes very strongly through
Yeah.
this film. And you know that your country is your country, and there's nothing better than being in your country, because you'll always be the first citizens in your country.
Exactly, especially when the foreign minister comes in, and that's when you get the goosebumps. I'm
Yeah.
not going to give you more spoilers, but these are just teasers to watch Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway. And Rani, you have done a fantabulous job. I think I'm short of adjectives, as in how you portray your characters and you really live the character. I wish you all the really best for the
Thank you.
film.
And now you work your magic on the box office.
Yes, definitely. We from Box Office Worldwide will definitely count the numbers, and I really hope it crosses like crores and crores.
Oh,
but I think this film is beyond just crores.
Yes,
it's
of
beyond
course.
just numbers, because
It's beyond numbers, but numbers are important because that tells you, or it validates how many people have seen the
Yes.
film. And that's the reason why this film should have those box office numbers, because it will automatically tell you how far the messaging can reach,
Yeah.
and how many people can get aware of what's happening in the world
Right.
today.
Well, that was Rani Mukerji, and I wish you all the really best for the film. Thank you so much for being on my show, Ticket Window.
Thank